when you read the script, what all stood with you about this character? There's so much going on.
Yeah, there definitely is. I think to begin with, when I read it, I realized that ये तो कुछ बोलती ही नहीं है.
Yeah, that's another thing.
कैसे करेंगे? तो मैंने कहा चलो ठीक है, challenge. I was very excited about it, and then we all started sitting together and we started talking about it. So my prep was actually about 3 months, three and a half months, where a month and a half we were just sitting on the script.
How different is the book? What is not there? What is similar? Or is it exactly that?
No,
I've not read the book.
Yeah, so the genesis of it was from the book, as Vikram said right now. But each medium lends it to its own, right? Like, for example, literature has got its own space, but how it's adapted to the screen is something that's a liberty that we took.
Bhumi, you all go back a long way, because when you sign up something like that, this is such a different space. I don't want to give away anything, and you do come with a stamp where if you have done a show and you are in it and you are the lead in it, kuch to hoga isme.
The fact that this character is quite unique in every way possible. The show is very unique. There have been enough shows in the genre. बहुत सारा हमने psychological crime thrillers देखे हैं.
Every character has a full arc. They have a backstory, all of them. And it's not that it's just shown in one scene कि ऐसा हुआ था and then everything moves on. They keep going back, why this happened and how she's like that, her character also. How is this on paper and how tough it is to execute it?
मैं crime dramas का बहुत बड़ा fan, like Korean thrillers and बहुत पसंद है मुझे. Although मैंने कभी किया नहीं था, but मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि बहुत easy होगा. But then after meeting him, then I met Suresh sir and I was very fascinated with how he thinks. Was a fan of Tumhari Sulu, Jalsa, and when we started chatting and when he told me about the idea, बहुत fascinating.
Suddenly we see a surge of crime thrillers, be it cinemas, across OTT. Is this the audience demanding? Is this the producers catering? What is happening? Why is the country loving crime so much?
That's a very loaded question, Rohit.
That's the statement that I am going to pass reacting to. But I always say that crime and thrillers are like dal chawal.
Tell me about Samara. What is she? She's really nailed this one. Yeah, who can tell me what she's like?
I can.
Yes, Bhumi,
I have to tell you, there were whatever scenes I have with Samara and Aditya.
You all have great scenes.
They are incredible performers. I am so inspired by both of them, and it's very rare to find inspiration from people.
Guys, welcome to Bollywood Hungama. I can safely say that I have watched all the episodes, binge watched it. Congratulations to all of you. Very, very well done.
Thank you.
In this crazy menu that we get on every OTT platform, very rarely a show comes where you want to finish all the episodes. So I'll start with Vikram.
Can I take a moment? Because he's like literally one of the first people, the only person I know outside of us who's seen all episodes.
All episodes. Yeah, I wouldn't do the same interview if I'd watched 1 or 2 and just come. That wouldn't be fair, I think.
Yeah.
Right. I'll start with you, Vikram. This is obviously based on a book. Is it similar to the book? Where did the first idea, first concept come?
The idea was always to explore a familiar genre, but in a disruptive manner.
Right.
There have been lots of crime thrillers, investigative thrillers, with both very powerful men and women in the lead, dominant characters, complex characters. We wanted to do something different. We wanted to do something disruptive, which would make people uncomfortable from the get-go, but yet remain in the familiar genre.
Right.
When we were on the lookout for base material or original material, I've always been a reader of Vish's books, and this trilogy came across, which not only had an extremely interesting plot, but had exactly what we were looking for, which was a singular dominant character in the lead who also happened to be a woman.
Right.
The germ of this series was born after reading Vish's first book.
Right. Okay.
But that was really just the kickoff. Suresh came on board and elevated the vision of this, the world, the layers of the principal characters, how Rita is, and the very core of what our original philosophy was, which was disruption in a familiar genre, was dialed up to another level.
Right.
And then with Amrit adding on to that, taking the show to another level on how his craft was towards it, put us in an advantageous position to then go and approach Bhumi and the others around her, Samara, Aditya, and build a cast and crew which could really do justice to what had then become Suresh's vision.
Yeah, right. You tell us, how different is the book? What is not there? What is similar? Or is it exactly that?
No,
I've not read the book.
Yeah, so the genesis of it
Okay.
was from the book, as Vikram said right now. But each medium lends it to its own, right? Like, for example, literature has got its own space. But how it's adapted to the screen is something that's a liberty that we took.
Okay.
And what happens is, in this genre, which is, there's been a lot that's been done.
Yeah.
And how do you break it? I don't want to get into the specifics of where all we changed, but the mood of it is pretty much the same. There are some newer characters for sure that we brought in purely for a certain nuancing and a certain rounding off, keeping that we have all of 7 episodes and you need to justify a story. So that's what we've done, and yeah, that's the long and short of it.
Right. Bhumi, you all go back a long way, because, you know, when you sign up something like that, you know, this is, you know, such a different space. I don't want to give away anything. And you do come with a stamp where if you have done a show and you are in it and you are the lead in it, kuch to hoga isme.
Thank you.
So that is a great thing that you've earned over the years. What was it that you came on board for?
You know, it was, I think, 2020 when Vikram sir and I spoke, and at that time he just had maybe a 10-page.
3 pages.
3 pages.
3 pages.
And he told me, you know, I've read something, we have something very interesting we are working on, but it's a series. And I was like, okay, so I've worked with Abundancia. This is my 3rd outing with them. And it's always been a very incredible experience, and an experience where I trust the team a lot.
Right.
I trust Vikram sir a lot. So I was like, okay, so you just let me know whenever you're ready. I would love to read it. And then in 2023, I again got a message from him, and he's like, you remember we'd spoken about that thing? And I said, yeah. He's like, it's ready, read it. I started reading the episodes and I just couldn't stop.
Right.
The first thing that I realized कि मेरी band बज जाएगी ये करते हुए, because ये बहुत tough होने वाला है. But I'm also a seeker of challenges, like so. The fact that this character is quite unique in every way possible. The show is very unique. There have been enough shows in the genre. बहुत सारा हमने psychological crime thrillers देखे हैं. But this one does not use all your typical tropes. है ना? इसमें, and I think a lot of it is because it's so character driven. You know, you get invested in the characters. You want to know what's going to happen with them next, because you're so heavily into their behavior.
Right. Totally.
And you start fearing them. You know, you are, as an audience, this was the experience that I went through when I was reading it, where I'm like, okay, I'm going to predict what they are going to do, but they actually don't do those things. You know, and that's what really keeps you engaged in the show. And for me, I think I was waiting for material like, so bahut time baad I'm doing something that is so performance heavy. Yeah, it is. And I was like, yeah, this is my chance.
Right. Amit, you could yourself be a lead in one. You're dressed very sharp.
I did.
Right. You know, you tell us, what I like about this is every character has a full arc. They have a backstory, all of them. And it's not that it's just shown in one scene ki aisa hua tha, and then everything moves on. They keep going back, why this happened and how she's like that, her character also. How is this on paper and how tough it is to execute it? Tell us some process of that.
See, I think मेरे लिए सबसे important ये था रोहित कि मैं सबसे पहले विक्रम सर से मिला था.
Okay.
And actually this was my first meeting with him and it went on for like 2 hours.
Wow, okay.
और I think मेरी life की सबसे interesting meeting थी किसी producer के साथ जहाँ पे I was opening up to him and I told him what all I want to do. And मैं crime dramas का बहुत बड़ा fan हूँ. Like Korean thrillers and बहुत पसंद है मुझे. Although मैंने कभी किया नहीं था, but मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि बहुत easy होगा. But then after meeting him, then I met Suresh sir and I was very fascinated with how he thinks.
Okay.
Was a fan of Tumhari Sulu, Jalsa. And when we started chatting and when he told me about the idea, बहुत fascinating था. And then I was also in the writer's room to observe his mind. So वो मेरे लिए बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग प्रोसेस था एंड राइटिंग पे ही बहुत अलग है ये शो. आई थिंक फॉर मी टू अंडरस्टैंड दीज टू विमेन वाज द मोस्ट चैलेंजिंग पार्ट ऑफ द शो. बट उसमें मज़ा बहुत आ रहा था बिकॉज मैंने ऐसा कुछ किया नहीं था. सो टू एक्सप्लोर द कैरेक्टर, आई थिंक इट्स दलदल के कैरेक्टर्स की वजह से ही आई थिंक इट्स अबाउट दीज 3 पीपल जिनकी बैक स्टोरीज में आपको जाके मज़ा आएगा. आपको जानना होगा कि वाई दे आर डूइंग व्हाट दे आर डूइंग. So yeah, I think it was on paper and a lot of help from sir and Vikram sir and the team I got and the actors I got.
Yeah.
So it became very easy for me.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's not a who done it, it's a why done it.
Yeah, it's not, and it's not just another series. That's the best part. It is not a who done it; it's a why done it. Vikram, I want to just ask you one question about what is being made now. Suddenly, we see a surge of crime thrillers, be it cinemas across OTT. Is this the audience demanding? Is this the producers catering? What is happening? Why is the country loving crime so much?
That's a very loaded question, Rohit.
That's the statement that I am going to pass reacting to. But I always say that crime and thrillers are like dal chawal. Ultimately, you go back to your comfort. Why is it a comfort? It lends itself to storytelling brilliantly. If the characters are engaging, if the plot is interesting and gripping, you're in the heart of it.
Yeah.
Because predictability for a good series or film in this genre should always be low.
Yeah.
Characters are layered, they're not your standard one size fits all two-dimensional characters. And especially in series, Rohit, this genre lends itself very well to the format. Episodic, propelling the story forward, carrying the viewer along, leaving the right cliffhangers, making sense, going back if required to enjoy it even more.
Yeah.
So I hear this quite a lot, that there are just so many crime thrillers, but we still can't get enough of them.
Yeah.
I think this is one of those genres, and I'm so happy you're asking this question, because it's a genre that withstood the test of time.
Right.
And by the way, continues to get some seminal and landmark work come out in this genre year after year.
Yes.
So we are very happy that Daldal is getting into this genre and looking to reinvent it and break it in its own way.
Right. Right. How interesting. Bhumi, are you a viewer as well of all this?
I am, but I can't watch things that make me this uncomfortable. Daldal is probably the only piece of work that
you will be
seen
watching.
that I had to sit
Yeah.
through because I'm in it. That
Right.
makes me uncomfortable. But yeah, I do enjoy the genre.
Right. You know, because like what Vikram was saying, because it's a series, there's a lot of liberty to make it, so many episodes, and there's a hook at the end of every episode. Do you enjoy this kind of storytelling as well?
So, for me, this was the first.
Yes.
Right? I mean, when Vikram, during, I think, around COVID, I think 2020, is when we first started speaking about it. I was actually very reluctant to get into series, purely because I'm inherently lazy. There's so much of work. So,
What a guy.
Yeah, but he was, I will
You're
double
saying
underline
these
his reluctance. I promise you. He refused to talk to me about it for a really long time.
It's like, let's make a film.
We were making one. See, Jalsa was underway. There was another one in discussion. There was another one he was writing. But I wanted him to look at it.
Right, right.
So the reluctance was something which was, but I think what happens with this, what happened with the core material and the fascination, because I too am a consumer of this genre, because everyone likes to see what they can't do in real life. So I think this too is an escape, and that fascinated me. Then the trap happens when you start putting up a writer's team,
Right.
and when the writer's room happened, all these challenges came in. But then, I mean, there's one way that you can constantly crib that, oh, why do I need to do this? Why do I need to constantly have a cliffhanger? But then I went back to the things that I liked, and I liked it for all the same reasons. It needs to have a great opening, it needs to have a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
But that in fact helped us adapting the script accordingly, and then so that it's content-wise and even visually, there is a hook. Another thing what we did, Rohit, was that again, I'm an impatient viewer. So I said that I can't watch things beyond an hour or 45 minutes. And so what we did was, brevity was one thing which I felt that in this time when people don't have that much of attention span per se. So it's very important that you need to keep the duration in control.
Really, that's so important.
So that kind of me and I think my team of writers, I think they've gone through the Daldal. And my editor really helped me.
Yeah, but your writers have done a great job. Very, what a job. You know, about this character, when you read this, like when you read the script, what all stood with you about this character? There's so much going on.
Yeah, there definitely is. I think to begin with, when I read it, I realized that ये तो कुछ बोलती ही नहीं है.
Yeah, that's another thing.
कैसे करेंगे? तो मैंने कहा चलो ठीक है, challenge. I was very excited about it, and then we all started sitting together and we started talking about it. So my prep was actually about 3 months, three and a half months, where a month and a half we were just sitting on the script, you know, and we would read the scenes, and in fact, she had a lot more to say in जो shooting draft था उसके थोड़े draft पहले तक, and as we would sit, sir would remove more lines. And I'm like, what is going on? You know, and the thing is, she has so much restraint.
Yeah.
She's stoic. You know, she's not even physically expressive. You know, verbose to bhool hi jao. And as an actor, I'm just used to doing material where the emotions are very heightened. You know, you have so many tools to express a certain thing that the writer and the director want to communicate. I felt very, very disabled, you know, especially on set. And I remember 10 days into it, I was like, I just can't do it.
Right.
I just don't know what to do. And I would keep going to Amrit and telling him, Amrit, I don't know, ho raha hai, kuch ho raha hai, mujhe kuch samajh nahi aa raha hai. And there was this one day, and he actually, I don't even know if he knows this, he told me something, and that really stayed with me because I was frustrated, and I was just like, and I was also kind of like borderline envious of what everybody else was doing in the show, because they are such well-written, interesting characters, right? And I was like, as an actor, I was like, I wish I was like, you know, whatever, doing different things, you know. And I went and I started complaining to him, and he's like, you know what, if you feel you don't know what to do and you just don't want to do anything, that's real. Because there's so much that she has to hide. You know, her turmoil, her violent thoughts, you know, if she has every trait that the antagonist has. There is no difference. They are the same people. It's just that my character chose the more righteous path. Right? And for me, that was a very big challenge. But really, honestly, the only reason I took up this show, because yes, the writing is phenomenal, but it's them. You know, if you don't have able makers, if you don't have the right people making the show, आप कितने भी top इंसान हो, however nuanced an actor you are, none of it will translate. And that's why I knew that this character is protected. You know, they will make sure only what's right for the show will happen. And I'm glad I did it.
You know, Bhumi, what you were saying is so right about your character. She's quiet, and in the first 2-3 episodes, I was seeing that, and I also, as a viewer, was wondering that where is this character going, and the question was, will it even go anywhere? Of course, it goes on to doing something else, only completely unexpected. But that is what also came across. You know,
I'm glad.
Yeah, it did come across, and you know, I want to ask all of whoever wants to answer about the other 2 actors also, because all 3 of them are so amazing. Tell me about Samara. What she's really nailed this one. Yeah, who can tell me what she's like?
I can.
Yes, Bhumi,
I have to tell you, there were whatever scenes I have with Samara and Aditya.
You all have great scenes.
They are incredible performers. I am so inspired by both of them, and you know, it's very rare to find inspiration from people today that you might be working with. I don't know if that's a politically correct thing to say.
It's the correct thing to say.
It's a right thing to say.
And they are incredible, man. Just their process, the way they are, even though they were playing such intense parts, there was a lightness in the way they conducted themselves. And I think that was so beautiful. There were some scenes where it almost looked like it's choreographed, what was happening between them. And they were so in sync, and I am just so excited for the world to see I want to see how the world perceives both of them, because I think they are going to be 2 incredible actors that the show is going to give the fraternity. I mean, they've done work, but still I feel this is what they deserve, this kind of writing, this kind of conviction.
No, all 3 of you were absolutely amazing. Vikram, does it, you know, when you have, like, you know, you have someone seasoned like Bhumi, and then you have these 2, does it surprise you that what kind of talent still exists in our country? Maybe we've not even explored and scratched the surface.
I love that. Does it surprise you?
There's,
But
there's,
I
no,
hear
देखने नहीं मिलते, हाँ.
there's no maybe to this question. I think the depth of talent that rests in this country waiting for a platform to come to the fore is incredibly high. It's just a matter of writing the correct roles for the makers to have the conviction to cast relatively fresher talent in such powerful roles for senior actors to understand and share screen space in powerful roles with newcomers allows for what you've seen Samara and Aditya do in this show.
Yes.
I have no doubt that they are going to break through with what they've done in Daldal.
Yeah.
It's because they were nurtured, those parts were written for them, they were given the environment which was safe, which allowed them. Bhumi just mentioned process. I mean, how many creative environments would allow a newcomer or a relative fresh talent to actually bring a process to the table?
Yeah.
There was time spent by Suresh, Amrit, the writers in their looks, in their performance. And you know they are multi-layered, you've seen the show. So that's also such a heartening thing when you see this translate on screen, and they're just going to disrupt so much once this comes out.
You know, also I have to say, after very long, I personally was a part of something that was being made where there was prep. People just don't believe in the idea of prep anymore. Right? ठीक है, अगर actor से आपको 1 महीना मिल रहा है, कर लो, कुछ भी कर लो. Over here, I remember I was told that no, we need this much time.
Okay.
It has to happen. And I feel a lot of that energy you can see on screen.
Right.
You
Right. What kind of prep is went behind? Because, you know, mostly, a lot of times they say workshop, it's just a table read. What all do you all
There
do?
were multiple reading sessions. I think 1-1.5 महीना तो हम सिर्फ स्क्रिप्ट पढ़ रहे थे.
नहीं,
ठीक
फिर
है?
1 महीना ये सवाल पूछ रही थी.
क्योंकि अपने शो में तो पूछते नहीं दिया इतना कुछ.
इसमें जितना है
I am quite the question mark, and I would like send both of them long voice notes.
Okay.
ठीक है, मतलब लंबे चौड़े voice note, because मैं usually रात को पढ़ती और फिर but you know what was incredible was that it was we did this together. Every nuance, her trigger, why does this character react like this?
Yeah.
Right? Why is she doing these things? At what point? Because she is so complicated as a person, and she obviously she has no outlet to express what she feels, except anger. You know, anger is the only time जब वो खुल के
My God, what a scene that,
you know, and uske alawa she doesn't really express any other emotion of hers. You know, it's like you're sitting in front of a wall.
Yeah.
Right? And so the smallest, her trauma, you know, everything about her childhood. We had like sessions where we would speak about her childhood, etc., etc. बहुत in-depth conversation hoti thi, and then that went into the costume part of it. That, you know, why she dressed the way she's dressed. She doesn't want to be noticed. She doesn't want any attention on her. And how do we not make her masculine in a man's world?
Right.
You know, so she does not, even if you see her body language, it's not that typical, the way cops are in a very glamorous way shown on screen, right? If somebody sees her walking in a market, लगेगा नहीं कि ये DCP है, you know, and she's flawed. She's so flawed. And yet she's earnest about her job. The only thing that's honest in her life is her job.
Right.
Everywhere else she's fractured and broken, and she creates a lot of those situations.
Wow.
So these small little nuances were spoken about in depth. They actually also got me to do multiple sessions with psychologists that work with criminals to understand criminal psychology.
Okay.
Because she herself has every instinct from what... सब ये रिलीज के बाद आएगा.
फिर बोल लो, but रिलीज के बाद भी सीरीज है.
The psychologists also helped me also as a director to understand these two complex minds.
Right. Right. No, there's few scenes. I also won't say anything, but incredible scenes that you have towards the second part of the show. You all clearly didn't leave any room for this to go wrong. Making a series on Mumbai cops, Mumbai crime. Why does this still fascinate people?
Mumbai police is the best.
I totally agree with that.
That's why I'm a Mumbaikar. I love them.
Yeah. What do you think? What you have seen around world over, universally, when this goes on an OTT platform, Mumbai crime stories and Mumbai police is of everybody's interest.
See, because it fascinated me because I'm living in Mumbai from last 15 years and
Right.
the city has given me a lot. So I really wanted to explore that side of the city that protects us, the police, and because of the writing also, the way it was written, there was a newness. Because हमने बहुत सारे shows ऐसे देखे हैं, but the way this show was written and the way we were looking at this show, because सबसे बड़ा challenge ये भी था कि इसको shoot कैसे करें, like बॉम्बे में शूट करना टफ है और दूसरा कि आप बॉम्बे को नया कैसे दिखाओगे.
Correct. Yeah.
So our production team really did a fab job in finding locations. We have locations in the show जहाँ पे अभी तक कुछ भी shoot नहीं हुआ है. Like our DP went on to like find locations. वो चले जाते थे कार लेके meetings के बाद, and he's finding locations and all of that.
Wow,
So
that's so interesting.
I'll just answer. Sorry.
नहीं, please go.
I'll just answer. See, it's an interesting one. Mumbai as a world and Mumbai police. In fact, one of our early discussions with Vikram was that, see, most of the shows that we like, European and all that, they're happening somewhere in Scotland or in Iceland. The population is very less. One murder can really create a stir. What I'm so fascinated about Mumbai police and the way in this crowd and this madness to solve crimes,
That's
which might be there, just to solve it, I think that is far more complex.
Yeah.
And because there's so many lives intertwined, right? So I'm saying, so that, I think, and of course the professionalism of Mumbai police is always known. So I just feel that that's one of the reasons as to why it's a conflict by itself.
Yeah. It is.
You know?
And I also feel that there are so many heroic stories. If you go back to the 90s, etc. I mean, my memories from the 90s, where you have legends from Mumbai police that literally have created a genre in Hindi films, right? And these are all real incidents.
Right.
So I think there's always that fascination, and I find a lot of pride in the fact that, we are the Scotland Yard of the East.
So, absolutely.
And it's something that Amrit was saying, what's beautiful about Daldal also is the way Mumbai is also a character.
100%.
And they insisted, मैंने कहा बड़ा बारिश में कौन शूट करता है बॉम्बे में? मैंने तो कभी नहीं सुना है कि जाने बारिश, people are always avoiding because the monsoons in Bombay are intense. Insane, and the way they were so specific about the mood, the lighting. There were times they बोलते थे नहीं सुबह क्या 6:30 बजे ही जब सनराइज हो रहा है हमें शॉट लेना ही लेना है. There have been days where we waited 7 hours because we were waiting for the right light. ऐसा नहीं होता है अभी. True. So kudos to them. Well really
done. Right. Lastly, from each one of you, if you all want to say, what should people take away from this when they watch this? What would you like to hear?
What I'd like to hear is what I'd like to hear. Unfortunately, if somebody is in Daldal, जितना बाहर आने की कोशिश करोगे उतना ही ये शो और देखोगे.
Oh my God!
I can't top that.
Yeah. What do you want to hear?
I want them to say that this is the best show of 2026 to come out.
Right.
I think when people are craving for newer narratives in the existing world, I think this is an opportunity for them to explore something where we are so used to the whodunit as a genre. Now go into the minds of the criminal and find the violence within.
Yeah, right. Bhumi, your voice note is awaited.
Yeah. I think what people would walk away with, or what they would say, is that it's a very intelligently written show. There is effort, there is craft, there is a sense of completeness, and especially if you're from the fraternity, you appreciate effort.
Yeah,
this show has effort.
Correct.
And I genuinely feel this is going to be a disruptive show for the genre.
For sure. Thank you so much, and thank you for entertaining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rohit. Thank you for